Today's assignment is graphing linear equations. You are going to be asked to use slope-intercept form, x and y intercepts, or create a table to graph each linear equation, numbers 1 through 10. Whichever method you choose is fine. You just have to show your work. So I'm going to do a couple of your problems showing you how to graph in slope-intercept form. You do not have to use slope-intercept form, but you do need to know how to use slope-intercept form. So first things first, when graphing in slope-intercept form, you want to make sure your y is isolated. If y is already by itself, then you can move on to step 2, which is identify your slope and your y-intercept. So what I like to do is write my slope intercept format right here below, and this lines right up. My slope is -3/4, but when I look at my y-intercept, there's nothing here. Well, what's the numerical representation for nothing? 0. So that means my y-intercept here is 0. So my slope, -3/4, and my y-intercept is 0. Now, to graph your slope, you have to do rise over run. Remember, your negative tells you which direction to go. Rise, positive goes up, negative goes down. For run, positive goes to the right, negative goes to the left. So I'm going to go ahead and put my negative, I'm going to assign it to the numerator. The negative sign can be on the numerator or the denominator. So first, graph your y-intercept. My y-intercept is 0, so I'm going to go over here to the origin. There's my y-intercept. Second, I'm going to rise and run. According to this, I'm going to drop 3 and go 4 to the right. My 3 is negative, so I'm going down. My 4 is positive, so I'm going to the right. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I don't really have a lot of space to go down 3 and to the right 4. If I want to go in the opposite direction, which you can, you just have to go in the opposite direction of your arrows. So you go back to your y-intercept, your beginning, and instead of going down 3, this time I'm going to go up. 1, 2, 3. And then instead of going to the right, I'm going to go to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to grab a straight edge, anything with a straight edge, and draw my line. So you do not have to draw the graph. This is just me showing you how to graph it on the line. What you're going to do is write this on your paper to show me your work. Then you're going to scroll down to the bottom, find the graph that matches your equation, and drop it onto the correct equation. Okay, let's do one more. So let's do number 7. Number 7 is 5x minus 4y equals -20. Okay, so we're going to graph this using slope-intercept form. This could also be graphed using x and y intercepts or a table, but we are going to use slope-intercept form. So the very first thing you need to remember with slope-intercept form is you have to isolate the y. You need to get y by itself. In order to get y by itself, we have to rearrange our equation. First, I need to get positive 5x moved to the other side by subtracting 5x from both sides. Now I have -4y equals -5x minus 20, because my 20 is negative. Next, I need to divide all terms by -4 because I still need to get y by itself. So now that cancels. I'm left with y equals negative divided by a negative is positive 5/4. Leave it as a fraction so you can have your rise and run. And then negative 20 divided by negative 4 is positive 5. So now I have my y isolated and I can graph in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go ahead and write my slope-intercept form equation underneath it. That means 5/4 is my slope and positive 5 is my y-intercept. So m equals 5/4, b equals 5. Now I'm ready to graph. First, graph your y-intercept. Find positive 5 on your y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plot your first point. Now, this tells me with a positive 5, I'm going to rise, which means go up. And with a positive 4, I'm going to run to the right. But if my point is all the way up here at the top of my graph, there's nowhere to go up from here. So I need to go in the opposite direction. Instead of going up and to the right, I need to go down and to the left. So I have to just, if I need to get points on the opposite side of my y-intercept, I have to go the opposite direction of my rise and run. So if I was originally supposed to go up, now I'm going to go down. And if I was originally supposed to go to the right, now I'm going to go to the left. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to go to the left 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I don't really have any space to go down and to the left 4 more. So I'm going to just go ahead and graph these 2 points. Find your graph in the graph bank at the bottom of the page. Drag and drop into the correct place. So you have 10 questions. I just did 2 of them with you. So go ahead and get the rest of this done. All assignments are due by Saturday.